Hello and welcome to the channel. Well, today it's Sunday and I've been doing a bit of filming with my Black Series Star Wars collection. Would like more figures, but I'm also going to do a bit of what I called a collection section filming, which is based on the posing of these figures from the last time you saw them. And this is my Predator section. Now on this section before I had my Todd McFarlane's Dark Knight Returns figures. That would be Carrie Kelly, Batman, Joker, the horse Batman rides, and I did have John Constantine up here, but I've had these guys up a while and I've reposed them all recently, and so I'll just come in close on the first guy. I call him Hierarchy Predator, because his armour, his look is more upmarket than the normal Predators. But on the box, he's referred to as the Fugitive Predator. So that's me putting him to his latest pose. And I love Predator. And then this guy, one of my favourite Predators, Scout Predator. And I like him mainly because of that rifle looking weapon. When I first got the figure, I didn't pose him with this weapon that much. I had him in the traditional Predator poses with the spear, but I decided to start posing him with this weapon. And then my Christmas present to myself is Alpha Predator, known as the First Hunter. And I absolutely love him, especially when he's got that helmet on. And then we've got, I call him Temple Guard Predator, my cheapest Predator, 25 quid. And I bought it mainly because he got that accessory, that bit of technology that you can attach to his arm. And then we come over to the other side where you'll see, just trying to hold the camera steady for you guys, Jungle Predator. There you go. And he's looking down at that face hugger. And then on the other side, and I hope they're going to make a follow-up to this figure, which is Feral Predator, because I absolutely love the film Prey. And I've watched Badlands, and for me it's not a Predator film. Visually it looks great, but they should have kept with that guy, Feral Predator. And I forgot the name of the actress who was in that film, but they should bring her back as well, because she was absolutely brilliant. She was like the Ripley of Native American Indians. And I actually saw in a film called Ice Road with Liam Neeson. So she's around. Let's hope we see her again in this reboot of the Prey films and not Badlands. So pretty much covered all the section. But we've got finally the one at the back. And I'll come over to Assassin Predator. And he's got his laser cannon on there. And he's only got one slashing claw. But I've actually got him on a Joker stand, crotch grabber. Because although I got him on some DC foot stands, and he's just stand up, he's more secure with a crotch grabber. So that's the Predator section as it looks at the moment. I'll come back, give you more of an overall look, and I'll come in close. And I'll pause it there because we've got another section to go to, and it's been a day of reposing different sections in my collection, so we're going to go on to the next bit. So my next section is the Justice League section, and I never get tired of posing these guys. I recently did a review on this character here, Wonder Woman, played by Gal Gadot, and it was all about the tiara debate. Won't go into it, said all I need to say. Love the figure. For me, the best of the Wonder Woman figures in terms of Gal Gadot. And then of course there's Batman, Cyborg, and acknowledged arguably as the best of the Justice League figures in terms of the look. And then of course there's Flash in the Flash, well, I actually put him into a pose which is more like you see him in the movie, just to get the realism across. Might change that up a little bit. And then we've got Aquaman. Now this look of the Justice League is, well, that Aquaman's from Aquaman 2. That Flash is from Flash the movie. Cyborg is actually from the Justice League movie. Wonder Woman is from Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Batman is from the Justice League. And Superman there is from Batman vs Superman. And in my opinion, that is the best Todd McFarlane has done of this figure. And I love the laser vision eyes. To have the normal eyes would have been boring, and I'm glad they've done him this way. Waited a long time for him, and I'm glad I've got him. And I don't think I'll be going for the black version of him because it's the old look, and it doesn't actually look that much like him, and I'm not that desperate to have him. But that's the newly reposed section of the Justice League, my version of the Justice League, and I like that look. So on that note, I'll pause it and take you to the next section. Here we go. That was a bit of Joker. I'm prone to bad impressions, please forgive me. Now this guy, I reviewed him some time ago, and I was very surprised at the amount of views I got for him. And I'm glad you're a fan of King Kong, but this is the kind of 1930s look of King Kong, because that's when I remember watching him. Of course, I'm not that old. First saw that 1930s film in the 70s. But I think, after I told you before in the last review, that was the start of so many great King Kong films. But he's my favourite because I've got pretty much all the King Kong films, King Kong versus Godzilla, but the first one, which this figure is based on, made by NECA, the actual figure, or the actual action sequences for the figure, were created by a guy called Ray Harryhausen. And as I said in the past, he greatly influenced people like Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. I have a lot of his films, his best being Jason and the Argonauts. So I urge you to check that film out, because he did films like Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger, The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, those sort of films. But Jason and the Argonauts for me was my favourite. And that's him in his new pose, because I've put on another head sculpt. He did originally have that head sculpt on, but I put the neutral face on. And still at the base of his feet there, you can see that skull crusher, which I did call a skull buster at one time. But that's King Kong reposed. And so we'll pause it there and go to the next section. So I'm not even going to discuss the names of these figures. I've recently done a review on these guys, but I've just changed it all around again. So without talking about who they are, why I like them, I'm just going to quickly pan along and show you the new way I've posed all these figures out. And move on very quickly. I'll give you a few close-ups. And I'm always in here cooking, so while I'm getting things ready for my meal, I look across the way and see these figures and I want to pose them again. So I've probably done about 4 or 5 of these, but at the end of the day, I thought while I'm filming today, I'll shoot them again. Now I'm after a figure called Mutant Leader. He's called Jax. I've seen the latest release and he's very, very good. But I do think he suits this Batman, as you would have seen on the channel when I posed them together. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at another Mutant Leader. So there you go, I'm showing you all the figures on this section. And I'll put it on Hush Batman and Tim Drake Robin, and pause it and take you to the next section. So we're up in the bedroom now because basically I've just reposed my second favourite, or joint second favourite Superman, Kingdom Come. So I've got him up there. You may see some flickering. I've had to put a lamp in position so you can get better resolution. But that's him just being reposed. I love him. I love all those energy effects that come with him. Hoping one day Zack Snyder will do a movie based on Kingdom Come Superman and that story. But there you go. Absolutely brilliant figure. And he's joint second favourite with Henry Cavill Superman. Christopher Reeve Superman being my favourite. And then we'll come over to Nightmare Batman. He's been reposed. Got him with his sidearm now. He's holding that sidearm. And if you check out the channel, you will see a nice review on him and all the different poses you can get him in. And let's not forget Adam West, Batman. And I'm pleading with you, Todd McFarlane, get that Burt Ward Robin made, because this Batman only looks complete when he's got Burt Ward, who played Robin, next to him. Was going to buy you Batmobile, mate, but unfortunately you didn't put doors on. Don't know why. Maybe it's financial reasons, but at the end of the day, we need a Robin and probably a re-release of that Batmobile with the doors on. So that's that section. Let's go over to the other side of the bedroom, which is where I'm filming at the moment. Okay, we're on the Avengers section now. Just quickly show you that. And if I come in close, you will see Thor there. Now I've just seen him as a re-release. They've just made him again in that look. But this is the Thor I grew up with, and that's one of the reasons I'm filming this section. Without the spinning effects, which you can see there, I've taken that hammer off my Silver Surfer and put it back with Thor. I've also got another Thor where he's got some fighting fists, so I managed to put a fighting fist on there, as you can see. So that's Thor in his new pose, and pretty much the Avengers are all as you saw them before. So I'm not going to go over that. It's just going to be a quick close-up on the figures. I've got them at the moment. and this section is right by my television, so I never get tired of looking across and thinking I'm going to change that. But at the end of the day, they're pretty much the same. But I do like the fact that I did put Loki on that sky cycle, which belongs to my Hawkeye figure. But I do like him on that sky cycle. So that's the Avengers section up in the bedroom. And this is turning into a little bit of a mini tour. But you haven't seen everything, but I've got one more section to cover and I think I'll call it a day. So this is a section I don't film very often. I do look up because my settee's right below it, and I look up at these figures, but I never see them from this angle. So I might as well get these on camera because I have reposed them. So we're coming close on Raven Spawn on the left, as you can see. And then on that side we've got the blue variant of Spawn with his new weapons. Then we've got Ninja Spawn there. Love him. And then there we've got that Flash. Don't know if it is Barry Allen. And somebody made the same comment as I did. I bought him, got him cheap at $11.99 because it reminded me of the Nightmare Flash in Justice League, especially in the helmet section. But the other thing I heard about him, he's a bad Flash, he's not a good guy. So I do like him. And then Lobo. Now I've seen the Jason Momoa Lobo and it looks like him, but he's not as bulky or big as this one. And I do like this one. And I wish they'd made him as bulky as this. But I posed him with various weapons. He is on the channel, you will see him there, posed next to my Dark Knight Returns Batman. And then in between Lobo and Flash you'll see Deathstroke there. And then I recently reviewed these guys, my Wonder Women. But with this Wonder Woman, I had to blue tack the sword section so she could hold it because the grip is not very good there. But I was going to blue tack that section, but I pulled the fighting fist off and hooked the lasso of truth in there. So that's the section that you don't often see on camera with my Harry Potter Hogwarts. Well, that's the kind of board you see at the platform in the films. I'm after a couple of Todd McFarlane figures related to pause button by accident. Yeah, I'm after a couple of figures related to the Harry Potter franchise done by Todd McFarlane. But I thought I'll grab that because I do like that. So sorry about that, hit the pause button by accident. So we've got one more section and we'll call it a day. So this is the last section then that I've reposed. And let's come in close on that guy, Robert Pattinson, Batman. And I put him with a shotgun and I put him with his batarang. You can just about make that out. And I did a nice review on him a few months back on the Bat Cycle, covered all the characters. And there's my Riddler there with that gun. That's the favourite gun I like to pose him with. But he does pose well with other weapons. And there's Catwoman there, crouching position. And finally, the Penguin. I'll put a fighting fist in with him. Haven't posed him with that fighting fist before, but basically that's my Robert Pattinson Batman wave, and it's turned into a little mini tour. I haven't covered every section of my collection, but at the end of the day, these are the things I've been working on recently in the collection: reposing, relocating figures to other parts of my home. And I'll say thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.